Picture this. You're cruising at 35,000 feet when suddenly the plane drops like a roller coaster and your stomach ends up somewhere near your throat. Welcome to the wild world of air turbulence, where even the most seasoned travelers can find themselves white-knuckling their armrests and questioning every life decision that led them to this moment. I'm here to take you on a journey through the skies, sharing incredible stories of passengers who've faced everything from mild bumps to heart-stopping drops. And trust me, some of these tales will leave you amazed at just how resilient both humans and aircraft can be. Let's start with what turbulence actually means to different people. Ask a nervous flyer and they'll describe it as Mother Nature's personal vendetta against their peace of mind. These folks start scanning flight attendant faces the moment the seatbelt sign illuminates, looking for any hint of concern. They grip their seats, control their breathing, and silently negotiate with whatever higher power they believe in. On the flip side, you have the aviation enthusiasts who treat turbulence like a free amusement park ride. They're the ones chuckling when everyone else looks terrified, occasionally throwing their hands up during particularly strong jolts. These passengers often have pilot friends or aviation knowledge that helps them understand the science behind the shaking. Then there are the frequent business travelers who've become so desensitized they barely look up from their laptops when the plane starts bouncing. They've learned to type through turbulence, sip their coffee during moderate chop, and somehow manage to sleep through conditions that would have first-time flyers praying for solid ground. But let me share some real stories that show just how dramatic flying can get. Last year, I was on a flight from Denver to Chicago when we encountered what pilots call severe clear air turbulence. This invisible phenomenon strikes without warning, and boy, did it strike hard. One moment, passengers were peacefully reading or watching movies. The next moment, we were experiencing drops that literally lifted people out of their seats. The flight attendants, true professionals that they are, immediately secured themselves and began their safety announcements with voices that remained remarkably calm, despite the chaos. I watched as a businessman's laptop went flying across the aisle, landing perfectly in another passenger's lap like some bizarre game of airplane ping pong. The woman next to me started crying, not from fear, but from laughter at the absurdity of the situation. What struck me most was how passengers began helping each other. Strangers were checking on fellow travelers, sharing water with those who looked queasy, and even cracking jokes to lighten the mood. The turbulence lasted about 15 minutes, but the camaraderie it created lasted the entire flight. Speaking of weather-related adventures, I'll never forget a flight into Miami during hurricane season. We circled the airport for over an hour while the pilots waited for a break in the storm. Every few minutes, lightning would illuminate the cabin like a camera flash, and the thunder would boom so loudly it seemed to come from inside the plane itself. The captain kept us informed throughout the ordeal, explaining that while the lightning show was impressive, modern aircraft are designed to handle lightning strikes routinely. In fact, commercial planes get struck by lightning approximately once per year, and the electrical current simply travels around the aircraft's aluminum skin before exiting through another point. During this particular storm, our plane was indeed struck by lightning. There was a brilliant flash, followed by a sound like someone had snapped the world's largest rubber band. For a split second, the cabin lights flickered, then everything returned to normal. The pilots immediately announced what had happened, reassuring everyone that all systems were functioning perfectly. A child behind me asked his mother if the plane was going to fall down, and she responded with such confidence that the plane was perfectly safe that even the nervous adults around us seemed to relax. That's the power of understanding what's actually happening versus imagining the worst-case scenario. Now let's talk about internal mechanical situations that can create excitement during flight. I once experienced what's called a compressor stall in one of the engines. This sounds terrifying, but it's actually a relatively common occurrence that pilots train extensively to handle. We were climbing out of Los Angeles when there was a loud bang, followed by what sounded like someone had turned on the world's largest vacuum cleaner. The plane shuddered briefly, then continued climbing normally. The captain explained that one engine had experienced a minor issue, but that commercial aircraft are designed to fly safely on a single engine if necessary. What fascinated me was watching different passengers process this information. Some immediately began calculating the odds of engine failure. Others started making peace with their maker, and a few actually seemed excited to experience something they'd only heard about in aviation documentaries. The statistical reality is quite reassuring, though. The odds of being in a plane crash are approximately 1 in 11 million, making flying statistically safer than driving to the airport. Engine failures are even rarer, and when they do occur, modern aircraft and highly trained pilots handle them with remarkable efficiency. But here's what really amazes me about these experiences. Despite the temporary fear or excitement, every single flight I've described landed safely, with all passengers walking away with incredible stories to tell. These moments remind us that commercial aviation is an extraordinary achievement of human engineering and training. The pilots flying these aircraft have undergone years of training specifically for unusual situations. They practice emergency procedures in sophisticated simulators that can recreate everything from engine failures to severe weather conditions. Flight attendants receive extensive safety training and certification regularly, ensuring they can assist passengers through any situation that might arise. Modern aircraft are marvels of engineering redundancy, meaning that if one system fails, backup systems immediately take over. Every component is tested beyond normal operational limits, and maintenance schedules are so rigorous that aircraft often receive more attention than most people give their cars. What I find most remarkable about turbulence and other flight irregularities is how they reveal human nature at its most authentic. I've seen business rivals comforting each other during rough air, witnessed shy passengers become instant friends while sharing anxiety-reducing techniques, and observed how quickly people can adapt to extraordinary circumstances. The weather outside might be creating invisible air currents that toss our aircraft around like a toy, or mechanical systems might be responding to conditions in ways that create unusual sounds or sensations. But the fundamental safety of modern aviation remains unchanged. These experiences have taught me that flying isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about trusting in human ingenuity, experiencing the planet from a perspective our ancestors could never have imagined, and sometimes sharing unforgettable moments with complete strangers at 35,000 feet. Every bump, every flash of lightning, every unusual sound becomes part of a story that connects us to the incredible achievement of human flight. These moments remind us that we're participating in something truly extraordinary every time we step aboard an aircraft. So the next time you encounter turbulence or hear an unfamiliar sound during your flight, remember that you're experiencing the remarkable intersection of human engineering, natural forces, and the incredible safety systems that make modern aviation possible. If you enjoyed these flying stories and want to hear more incredible tales from magical destinations around the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing aviation adventures and travel inspiration.